I realise that I've just gone into this like an old person going. So, hi, guys. How you doing? Hello. Let's go to the chat first. I never start with the chat first. We're going to say hello to Mark Bugord from Switzerland. Thank you so much for coming back. It's been a few months, guys. We've got Bukur, Christian Silviu. Hello to you from Poland. We've got Erasa Rain. Hello to you. We've got Jose. Hello, happy new ESC season. Well, yes, that's why we're back after a little summer break, because I think we all needed it after Malmö, me especially. It's the 1st of September, guys, and go on. What does the 1st of September mean to Eurovision fans?
It is the start of the, well, I guess it's like a new year, basically.
Yeah,
and for those that don't know, any song released from this date onwards is eligible for Eurovision.
Yeah, so keep your eyes peeled, keep your ears peeled for any potential Eurovision entries. We've got Rye Bailey. It's welcome back. Thank you, Rye. It's been a difficult time for you. Really sorry to hear about your dad passing away in July, but I hope you're dealing with that well. We've got Nelson from Bogota in Colombia. Hello to you. Thank you for joining. And you love the Eurovision Song Contest. Well, we hope so. That's why we're all here. But guys, Dylan, let's start with you. How's your summer been? I know I saw you a few weeks ago, didn't I? Because you Paris Olympics. But how has your summer been?
It's been great. It's been great. Travels around the continent and then the Olympic Paris. So it was perfect. Got to see you as well. Got to spend some time together. So that was great. Yes. What about you guys?
Well, Harry's just come back from an amazing trip.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I was also at the Summer Olympics as well during the middle of Saturday.
True, but you're too cool to hang out with us.
No, I was busy. I was busy, but I would have tried. No, that was great. I also was in Florida for a few weeks around June, July, and yeah, it feels weird this period because basically my uni finished at literally the week before Eurovision, so it's a nice reminder of how long I've now been out of that since summer. So yeah, been relaxing, crazy, all fun.
Go on, Jess, little princess.
Well, I mean, I wish mine was exciting as all of yours, but I pretty much spent my summer working, which, I mean, I enjoy my job, so it's not bad, but I've been trying to enjoy the little sunshine the UK has had. I've been with family, I've been working again. Yeah.
Well, I want to know, guys, it's been 3 months now, roughly, since Eurovision in Malmö. Which is the one song that you've been listening to most since the final in May?
Ooh.
It's, for me, it would either be We Will Rave, no surprise there, or La Noia. It's probably one of those two. Or maybe Looktelk. I've been listening to that a lot as well.
Oh, brilliant one. Harry?
See, most of mine are just on I've added to my massive Eurovision playlist, so it's whatever usually comes up there. I'd say the ones I go out my way, like Switzerland is up there, and I think I built a reputation over the 2024 season for liking Angelina Mango and La Noia, so that carried on over into the summer as well.
All right.
Go on, Dylan.
Yeah, for me it was Ukraine. I listened to it quite a lot this summer, so I don't know. I just loved it, and it grew even more during the summer.
Well, I've had like a little Eurovision break, so I haven't been listening to much Eurovision, but I have been listening to La Noia as well, Harry. You'll be proud. It's because I kind of added it to like all of my playlists. So no matter what I'm listening to, La Noia will always pop up. And there's a few San Remo songs in there as well. Guys in the chat, we'd love to know which song has been your earworm since Eurovision 2024. However, it is Happy New Year. It is the 1st of September. We're here to talk about Eurovision 2025. And the announcement that we got a couple of years ago, a couple of days ago, we found out where we're going to be going. So it was a kind of shortlist between Basel, I've been taught to say this in a German accent, Basel in a German accent, or Geneva. Guys, first of all, which one were you hoping for? I mean, both are as expensive as each other, I guess. But Dylan, where were you hoping to go?
I was hoping to go to Geneva because I've never been there, so I thought it would be a nice way, to keep discovering Switzerland. But in the end, I really like Basel, so I think it's a good news as well.
Yes.
Well, I mean, as someone that's never been to Switzerland before, I was happy to go to either one, and I knew that they would both be as expensive as each other, so I wasn't really too fussed either way.
And Harry.
Oh, well, you say that, guys. Because I pre-booked hotels for both Basel and Geneva in advance, and the one I got for Basel was like 3 times less expensive than the Geneva one. So I had a very big financial bias for Basel being the one selected, and I was very relieved when I heard Netta said it was going to be Geneva, because I knew I would be fine after that. But yeah, it's also just I've never been. I think I've only been to Switzerland once, so from a actual just looking at the culture, I was fine with either.
Yeah, I have been to Switzerland before, a long time ago. And Geneva is a city that I went to and is the only place I've ever been pickpocketed. So I was actually hoping for Basel because I have bad memories of Geneva. It was beautiful, especially seeing the fountain. But yeah, I'm glad that I'm getting to go and see another city that I've not seen before in Basel. And it's kind of on the border of Germany, France, and Switzerland. So there's going to be options to stay over the border, I guess, which a lot of people will be doing, similar to, kind of the fans that were staying in Copenhagen instead of staying in Malmö. Harry, I'm going to tell you off for booking your hotels now, because I always say it drives the prices up. I always go last minute. I got a good deal for Malmö in a hotel in the centre. But
my anxiety could not take last minute, Andy. I couldn't do it that late.
Well, I was like, I think it used to drive Clara mad, the fact that I would never sort out accommodation until last minute. Erasa, you're saying Germany is your earworm from this year. And Mark Bugod, we're going to be seeing a lot more of you, I think, because you're looking forward to showing us the beautiful city of Basel. So right choice. The stadium is great. So it's St. Jakobshalle. I hope I said that right. And Basel is so excited to show Europe what is going to be a great Eurovision 2025. Mark, where in Switzerland do you actually live? Because if you're in Basel, I'm coming to stay with you for about 2.5 weeks.
And me too.
Jess as well. I'll pack with my suitcase. Rye Bailey, you're with Jess, of course. Austria, We Will Rave is your earworm from 2024. Nelson, you're saying, will there be returns of competing countries to Eurovision 2025? Well, we've already got the return of Montenegro. Guys, what was your reaction to that news that came a few weeks ago?
I was not expecting it, but I'm happy to see them back. Maybe they could encourage other Balkan nations to return.
Well, of course, because we obviously have to have North Macedonia in the contest this year. Would be great to see them return. Who else was missing?
Bulgaria is the
Bulgaria, of course.
Both of them, I would say, have like decent chances of returning. Bulgaria, supposedly, there is reports they're making a decision in September, which, considering how sort of out they were of it a couple of years ago, I'm pleasantly surprised to hear there's at least a chance. And North Macedonia, I think, is just confusing at this point because they're still in Junior Eurovision consistently. They're not leaving that, but yet there's no news whether they're returning to the adult contest. So who knows with them? I mean, I'm thrilled Montenegro's back. I had a sort of half serious, half like jokey feeling they'd return because I did hear the reports about a national final a couple months ago. But also, Montenegro's broadcaster is so whimsy with their finances. It's the kind of broadcaster that would just return for a year and then, we're done now, and then back again, and then we're done now. But yeah, I'm always in Eurovision, the more the merrier guy. So the more countries we have in the contest, the better.
Yeah, and Dylan, the last entry we had from Montenegro, I think, was Vladana, wasn't it, in Turin? Obviously, it didn't get a lot of love. I thought it was a nice song, but I would like to see them come back with something very different and something maybe very representative of their culture. I'd love to see Euro Neuro back, something like that.
Oh, my goodness.
I loved it. But anyway.
You know, Andy, good for you. good for you.
Yeah.
Dylan, what sort of approach would you like to see from Montenegro this year?
I would love some Balkan banger again. I think we all need more Balkan banger, and Montenegro perhaps could give us that. It would be a good way for them to start again the contest, to get back there. Probably would give them a good result, or at least I hope so. And so perhaps if they choose this way, they would be on track, to stay with us a few more years, because as Harry said, I mean, the more the merrier. So I'm all for Montenegro, North Macedonia, and Bulgaria. Actually, miss Bulgaria in the Eurovision Song Contest.
Yeah, well, I think I'm kind of with Harry. I'm a more the merrier kind of guy. I would love to see a new country in Eurovision next
Yeah.
year.
We might. There's a
we've
couple
got
others.
Switzerland. So, well, I was going to say, obviously, we're in Switzerland. So we've heard about this Liechtenstein kind of dream to enter Eurovision. It sounded like it's potentially back on the cards, but I never know how serious it is. But yeah, wouldn't it be great to see one of the smallest countries in Europe represented get back? Harry,
well, Liechtenstein, the issue with Liechtenstein is I think it's only a radio broadcaster that's currently applying for the EBU. That's the issue with them getting into the contest. There are ways around it. Ukraine was initially a radio broadcaster and then slowly became a TV one. The one I would say, and it's a returning country, because we already know Kosovo is not debuting. They would decline their invite.
I say Monaco.
Well, remember, Monaco were now part of the EBU since last September, and they were reports that it was just too late for 2024.
Yep.
There's been very little news on it recently, but I would say keep an eye on it because it seems like something people have forgotten about.
And there's always these hopes of Andorra returning. Now, we spoke to Suzanne Georgi in Malmö as well. I haven't seen anyone work as hard to get a country back in Eurovision as she is. So we can keep our fingers crossed for Andorra. If not next year, then maybe the year after. It would be great to see them back. Bosnia and Herzegovina, I would love to see them back next year. How it's going to happen.
There was news.
I think they're just too broke. That they literally have no money.
Well, there was news that they were selling some. There was news over the summer that they were selling something. I know I'm being vague here, but I can't remember what it was. They were selling something to help pay off their debts. So maybe it's sooner rather than later. It's annoying with Bosnia because we know that they are a country that if they could, they would take part in Eurovision. It's just a finance issue.
I mean, is there not a Bosnian Philip Kirkorov that can just fund their participation?
No, we don't need any references of Philip Kirkorov in Eurovision. If that's the only way they can go back in, just
a
keep them out.
super rich guy.
Okay, that's fine.
But guys, a friend of Eurovoxx, the Balkan guy, don't forget to check him out on YouTube. We did speak to him in Malmö about the chances of Bosnia and Herzegovina returning. So if you want to kind of throw your weight behind the cause, do go and support him, and he can let you know how you can help. We've got to say hello to Rodrigo, who is from Rio de Janeiro in Brazil. Thank you so much for joining us, Rodrigo. You love the Eurovision Song Contest. Mark Bugod, you're in Zurich. I have a feeling that's going to be a little bit too far to travel on a daily basis. I don't know. We've got SKZ. You've booked accommodation in Mulhouse. Looks cheap and good. Your train takes about 20 to 25 minutes to go to Basel. Has someone got a dog?
That would be one of the dogs outside. I might just close my window. Hang on.
Don't worry. And Nelson saying, will there be another chance for Morocco to be in Eurovision 2025? Would love to see a country like Morocco. Obviously, they were last in it in they were only in it in 1980. Yeah. I think they came last or second last. We've never seen them back since, but there is a station in Morocco that has kind of mentioned Eurovision. Sometimes I wonder whether these stories come more from kind of fans' dreams rather than factual. But yeah, it'd be great to see them back and see something from the North African region represented at Eurovision. That would be great. I'd love to see some really different cultures. If you could have anything for Eurovision 2025 in terms of the music, what would you like to see?
I would like to see Lebanon, actually. I know that they've been interested in joining the Eurovision in the early 2000s. They would not for political reason with Israel. But Lebanon has a very nice culture and a very nice music that is influenced both by North Africa and Middle East. And I think it would be a great added value to the Eurovision Song Contest. It's something different that we are not used to hear anymore, especially since the withdrawal of Turkey. So I think it could be a good opening, and a new door to another culture. And I would really love to see that.
with you on that, and I'm always sad that we never got to see. I don't know if I'm showing my age here, Harry. You probably weren't even born. 2005, the song that they were going to go
Yes.
to Eurovision with was Aline Laoud, who's obviously an amazing singer, and the song was in French. Obviously a spoken language in Lebanon. It was a beautiful song. So I said there was not even an official video that you could watch of the song, but it was absolutely stunning. Was really sad kind of when they had to withdraw, and then obviously they had the ban from Eurovision. It is open to them to participate. Maybe we will see them next year. Who knows? I think there would have to be certain factors that would fall into
Really
play.
big one, yeah.
But we would see. I agree. It'd be great to see that culture at Eurovision. But in terms of more generally, maybe like what would you like to see from countries bring into the contest next year, Jess?
I mean, on a more personal note, I'd love to see just so many up-tempo songs, like poppy, dancey songs.
Jess wants a party, basically.
Pretty much.
Party.
Look, the more songs for Euro Club, the better. So I'm all for this, Jess.
But it would be nice to have more like traditional elements in the music, like as Dylan said, some Balkan bangers, maybe like traditional Greek music or whatever you have in your country. I'd love to hear more languages as well besides English. That would be nice.
But Harry, there has been a rise of kind of country singing in their native language rather than English.
Yeah, well, there has been a rise, and I think it comes down to a lot of countries have just found a way to send ethnic songs, as in like ethnic languages or their own language, but in a modern way. You saw that with Sylvester Velt for Lithuania, 5 minutes for Estonia. It doesn't. Their own language doesn't have to be.
Sylvester Velt has to be like that. I have to do
but they figured out a way where you don't have to make it old-fashioned, but also like sing in your own language. I'd say personally for me, the things I want to see in a more narrow-minded way, I want to see finally Ollie go for Estonia. That's more on a personal note for Esti now. But also like sticking to that rock theme, I think we've got a bit of a taste of it now when it comes to Finland. Have sent some good rock songs. Give me some Swedish rock. Give me some more like pop rock from Norway. Like one of my favorite songs of all time in Eurovision, and admittedly you mentioned 2005, it is do you remember Wigwam, In My Dreams from Norway? Like that is one of my favorite Eurovision songs of all time. Give me that glam pop rock again, because it's that timeless sound that always does well. So yeah, more rock the better would be my request.
And I'd love to see you getting down to rock, Harry. I've not seen it.
I do, Andy, but it's not it's never at Euro. It's never at Euro Club, so it's like you can't see there to it.
We've got another Harry in the chat. You wanted Geneva because you've been there, Ben, too. Mark Bugod, we may see. Oh my God. Like, if this happened, this would be absolutely insane. I don't know. I was emotional as hell when I saw her at the Olympics opening ceremony. It was absolutely amazing. Bring her back as a damn participant, I say, Switzerland. It's like your anniversary. Just pay her shitloads of money, get her to perform for you. You'll win again, and then we can maybe see Zurich in 2026. But yeah, you got like Dylan. When you watched that performance of Celine Dion on the Eiffel Tower, you must have been so proud.
Proud, but also very emotional, because the song is a very beautiful love song. We haven't seen Celine Dion for, I think, 4 years performing, so it was very emotional. And also the song, you could tell, and you can actually encourage you to watch the performance on YouTube. You can see she's singing with everything she has in her, and the song is very likely dedicated to her latest band, which was her soulmate. So I think it made it even more powerful, and the performance altogether was absolutely mesmerizing. I was really, really crying in front of my TV because it was just too much. It was really, really beautiful.
I was in pieces, honestly. It was, for me, it was such a nice surprise at the opening ceremony, one that I didn't expect. And I've rewatched that performance so many times, and it still makes me emotional. Jess, do you even know what we're talking about?
Yeah, of course.
All right, watch it. I'd love to know what you
mean,
thought.
I have no interest in the Olympics in general or sport in general, but I did watch the opening ceremony and I did see her performance, and it was just incredible. Something like that on the Eurovision stage
Oh yeah, you know,
It's so amazing.
I mean, it's always the same. You know, France doesn't bring the Eiffel Tower, and then everybody's like, "Oh, the French are not bringing the Eiffel Tower. Where is the Eiffel Tower?" And if we bring the Eiffel Tower, it's like, "Oh my God, the French are bringing the Eiffel Tower again."
Did
So
you see
no,
Did you see my Instagram post while I was at the Eiffel Tower saying I found France's LED for Eurovision in the background?
Well, you'll be doubly proud because I met someone who was from the Caribbean who loves Eurovision a couple of days ago, and asked them what their favourite song was from this year, and they said it was France. So
oh,
there you go. And what a great performance by Slimane as well.
He was also at the opening ceremony. Yeah.
Now, we've spoken about Montenegro coming back to Eurovision, but there is a situation that still lingers on whether we're going to see the Netherlands back at Eurovision in 2025. Guys, what are your thoughts on this?
It's been a busy summer for the Netherlands, I have to say.
Yeah.
It's been a lot of chaos. Look, I'm one for again, I'm a more the merrier guy. So my initial response is, yeah, just get them back in there. I think the EBU has some words to say. I did not like the fact they were a bit hypocritical in their response to the court case, saying initially going off, "Oh, well, we can't comment because it's a court case." And then when they lost the court case, well, it's a different thing. It's like, you don't make it easy on yourselves, organization. It's nice that we're hearing reports that they're dropping the court case and there are discussions. It would be a real shame. Maybe they're too separate. I take confidence in the fact they're still taking part in Junior Eurovision. I know that is, in some cases, for the Netherlands, even more a bigger deal for some Dutch fans than the adult contest. But yeah, we can only hope that they come back, because that's a massive loss, an understandable one if they feel the circumstances are too extreme, especially with the inclusion of a different country that is still, as it stands, taking part next year. But yeah, I mean, it's just a shame. I want to be happy for Eurovision. I don't like discussing this. This is escapism. Oh, get on, please, for God's sake.
Well, I'm going to say, don't withdraw the Netherlands. Bring Joost Klein back to perform another song, win the whole damn contest. Oh no, yeah, win. Celine Dion can come second. So win the contest, and just show who you are as a nation, actually. So, he needs his time on the stage. We all know that he was doing that for his parents. And that was one of the really sad things about his, I've forgotten what the word is, disqualification. So, yeah, I think he deserves his time. Come back, do really well, and show certain people what you think of them. Jess?
I mean, I think if they do come back, I agree with you that Joost Klein should be offered the chance to come back if he wants to, and to hopefully have a more positive Eurovision experience. But at the same time, I feel doubtful that the Netherlands will come back because of everything that happened. And if they did take a year out, I think a lot of people would completely understand. Maybe it would kind of give the EBU a kick up the backside and think, okay, this is more serious than we thought. They're withdrawing. Maybe things would change. So maybe that needs to happen in order for change to happen. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, it wasn't. It was nothing about the rules as such that resulted. So I think in terms of change happening, I'm not sure what change would come about. But Dylan.
Well, maybe they could change their overall approach, and the way they organize the contest and how they interact with the delegation, actually. Because we've seen that many countries filed complaints to the EBU and asked for meetings with the organizers, complaining of the way they were treated. So I think there is a need for an actual change in their behavior. When it comes to the Netherlands specifically, I have mixed feelings. In a way, I agree with you, and I think they should come back and they should send Joost just to give him the chance that he deserves, but also to send a message to the EBU. Like, you are not here to tell us, how to choose our representative, for instance. So it would be a nice way to laugh at them and say, well, we're back, but look who's back as well. Someone you robbed last year. But also, I think maybe sometimes it it would be more interesting to make a point, and to make a point you need to take a hard stance. And in that regard, I wonder if it wouldn't be more productive and in the end better for the whole contest if the Netherlands were to boycott the next contest, to send a strong signal and say what happened was absolutely unacceptable, and we will not endorse this anymore. So I don't know. I think in the end it comes to the broadcaster anyway, and probably the artist as well, because I would think that they have internal discussion with Joost about going back or not. I think the right thing to do would be to offer him the chance to go. So they would probably ask him how he feels about that.
To play slight devil advocate with like Joost Klein going to Eurovision, it's hypothetical because I don't know what the chances are. That would make it, because he would probably do really well, if not win the whole thing, because regardless of song quality, even though I think he would probably send a good song, because of the story and everything behind it. That would then make 3 of the last 4 contests have a televote score that was heavily influenced by outside world stuff. 2022, 2024, even though they didn't win the televote, and now 2025. There's something about that. As much as it would be a lovely story for Joost Klein, not his fault if this scenario were to happen, but it would be leaning towards more just the naysayers of Eurovision going, well, who cares? Because it doesn't matter what we send, a story will win, or a outside world thing will just do well regardless.
Yeah, I don't know. I might disagree slightly. I don't know if kind of Nora sitting at home watching the final of Eurovision would be picking up the phone voting for the Netherlands, because she probably didn't even know they would have been, they were disqualified the previous year. So I think the support would come from the Dutch fans. Obviously, they can't vote for themselves. But, it sends a message either way, whether they come back to stick a middle finger up or whether they stay at home to stick a middle finger up. So, ultimately, whatever decision they make, I will support. If they boycott, I will feel sorry for, all the Dutch fans that we know, people. And there's such a love for Eurovision in the Netherlands as well. But, they're also very proud people. And I think if there was a boycott, it would be supported by the Dutch public. I know a lot of the fans I've spoken to already have said they think the Netherlands should withdraw, because there was a lot of anger about what happened. People felt that it shouldn't have happened that way. The other thing that I love was the support that Avratros, they really stood by their artist, and I'm glad they did. And I love seeing the statements that they came out with. So yeah, we will see how it plays out. I mean, there's lots more to come in this story. It's not, it's not over. In terms of other potential withdrawals, obviously there's a bigger issue happening in the world. While we're talking about withdrawals, I did see a comment from someone, I think it was Rodrigo, just asking if Belarus and Russia will come back to Eurovision 2025. I don't think we will see either country participating in Eurovision for well over a decade, I'm afraid. I think it will be a long time if we do ever see those countries return to Eurovision. So no is the answer, and that's a pretty definitive no. We won't see them next year. But any other potential withdrawals, guys?
Well, they're outside of the
and Marino.
No, they've already confirmed. They're fine. They've already confirmed. Yeah, they've already confirmed. Yeah. Don't worry, they're good. Outside of like the ones due to like the events of Malmo, because I don't think we can bookmark them. And a lot of I reckon Netherlands is the only one that would be due to the circumstances. I might be wrong. The other ones are financial. So the ones that come to mind are Czechia and Australia, who have recently struggled with finances at the contest. Czechia, there was some promising signs in that they'll make their decision this month, but also apparently, Eurovision is on the broadcaster's calendar, which, take that what you will, but at least they've got it in their minds. How they approach it, God knows. But with Australia, I think it would be a case of if they can find the artist that can fund their act, like they have with Voyager and Electric Fields, then it'll be fine. If not, then it might be an issue. But I hope both come back. In an ideal world, we finally have more countries than we don't next year, because 37 is too low. In an ideal world, it's always above 40, but we don't live in an ideal world. I think they're the only two that come to mind because San Marino did thankfully confirm they are returning next year.
Despite Harry, I would have loved to have seen you in the 90s like me when we had like a max of 25. I think it was either 23 or 25.
I'm used to the big numbers.
But it's I don't like to talk about politics a lot, but there is political situations happening in the world. I don't need to say what they are, but could potentially result in another call for certain countries to maybe boycott Eurovision, depending on who is participating next year. So I think it will be a story that we'll have to pay close attention to.
Mm-hmm.
So potentially a Monaco return next year. Harry, you literally got me salivating at that idea. Maybe Liechtenstein, if they can sort out a TV station in the next, what is it? When is the deadline for announcing country? Is it like October?
I don't know when they're. Well,
I was looking down here, like as if I was looking at it. There's no calendar. I don't know.
There's no deadline for announcing countries. It's just there's a deadline for submitting like your intention to take part. I know it's not soon because I remember seeing a report that Greece are going to make the decision in mid-September because that's when they're changing a load of broadcast and stuff. It's nothing to do with like circumstances of the last year. It's just they're changing their team. So I know it's at least, I want to say end of September maybe, but when they don't technically have to officially announce when they're taking part, it can just be in the big old country list at the end. I'm pretty sure Moldova do that every year, even though they take part.
We've got Vladimir, who, if I remember correctly, is from North Macedonia, and you're saying still nothing from MKRTV. It was the same as last year, and you guess it will be the same for 2025. Well, still hopeful because of your Junior Eurovision participation. So we'll keep our fingers crossed. We've got SKZ saying that Luxembourg have confirmed their participation. Of course, actually, we had Luxembourg return this year. Do really well. I'm going to say they came 13th in the final.
They did. Well done, Andy. Well done.
It almost felt like they hadn't been gone, though. It was weird kind of welcoming them back. It was exciting. Obviously, someone that we know very well who's working on their delegation. They had Suzanne Georgi there as well as a vocal coach. They threw a lot behind their participation, and it was great to see them do so well. I think much better than people expected. Is that right?
Yeah.
But great that they came kind of top 15. Love to see them back in the final. Looking forward to seeing another Luxembourg national final for 2025. And hopefully we will be there again to bring you all the excitement. I spoke to a lot of different people that went to that event and they said it was really well organised, a lot of fun. Harry, maybe you can go next year.
All trips are work dependent for me. If it fits in the calendar, maybe, who knows? I've never been to Luxembourg, so it would be good fun.
We were talking about kind of what we want music wise from next year, and I don't think we really kind of answered that. We got kind of more languages. Dylan, you spoke about Lebanon returning, bringing something very cultural from Lebanon. Harry, what would you like to see music? Oh, you said rock.
Yeah, I said rock.
Yeah.
Oh, so just me that didn't answer.
Yeah.
Are you even listening to us?
It's the royal we. It's the.
For me, 2025, I just want countries to represent themselves rather than representing what they think everyone wants to hear. I want to see really authentic songs from different countries. I want to see native languages. I just want to see some real variety next year in Eurovision. I'm excited to see what kind of a show Switzerland will put on. I don't know much about the Swiss kind of humor. It's very similar to what I was wondering with Italy. I wasn't sure how they would get the humor aspect of Eurovision. They ended up doing it really well. We know when we go into somewhere like Sweden that the humor is going to be on point, and it has become a real part of presenting a Eurovision show. I look forward to seeing how the Swiss look at themselves and how they can maybe mock themselves.
Yeah, I agree. I just have no idea what to expect from a Swiss Eurovision. It's actually really quite exciting.
Yeah.
Because with Sweden, they posted it a lot recently, so you knew what to expect. And then once Petra was confirmed as co-host, you just knew what you were going to get. But with Switzerland, I've just got no idea. But that's what makes it really exciting.
Yeah. Now, Ibrahim, who's part of the Eurovoxx team, who is from Switzerland and probably could have answered that for us, is currently trekking up and down some Swiss mountains. So couldn't join us tonight, but he will come back to kind of maybe tell us more about what we can expect from a Swiss Eurovision. They're known for their timing, obviously, so it's probably all going to be very, very precise. I've never seen any. We haven't even really had any swish. This is going to be recurring. I'm so sorry. Swiss like national selections to watch to even get a flavour of how they would produce a show. I can't remember when the last.
I think their last one was 2018, off the top of my head, I believe.
I don't remember it
because I know they haven't had one from 2019. I'm pretty sure Bones from Zibs won a national final in 2018, but I might be wrong there. Yeah.
I can't remember that song. That's really awful.
That is one of my favourites from 2018. How dare
Oh, was it the guy and the girl and one of them had a guitar?
Yeah. No, drums, and then there was like a flare. They didn't qualify, but it had like a flare on stage at the end.
No.
It was like slightly rocky sound.
Well, one thing I shall be doing leading up to Eurovision 2025 is actually going back and reliving the Swiss history in Eurovision. Right, wow. When did we last see Motown-inspired songs at Eurovision? That must have been like the early 2000s.
I remember Austria song from the year 2000, the Rounder Girls, had some Motown
baby
type of song.
Is that it?
I think so, yeah.
The three.
And then, but since then, the closest thing I have is that song, La Voix d'Aretha from the French national final, I think in 2018 or 2019, and that was terrible French. Apologies, Dylan.
Which we watched together, I think, Jess, didn't we?
Yeah.
Talking about. Which one was that?
La Voix d'Aretha. And they were singing about Aretha Franklin. 3 girls.
I remember that one. Yeah, I remember that one. Yeah.
Mark, yes, the Mamas did have a Motown influence for sure. But we didn't get to see it on the Eurovision stage, sadly.
Yeah.
Damn COVID. I can't believe that was like 4 years ago we were talking about the cancellation of Eurovision. How quickly has that gone?
Nearly 5.
Nearly 5. That's insane. Let's have a look at some of the comments. Irasa, you're saying you prefer when each country sings in their own language, you get more variety and a clearer window into each culture. And that's kind of that was the whole idea of Eurovision, that you would see different cultures from different countries. Obviously, with a Europe that wasn't so accessible to so many people in 1956, people couldn't travel out of their countries very much. It was very expensive to do so. So people, it was one of the only ways that people would pick up on these on different cultures. And obviously, Eurovision is coming home. In a sense, we're going back to Switzerland.
We're winning? No. Oh, not that coming up. Okay, not that one. Okay.
Guys, who, if I had to ask you to pick a country apart from your own who you would love to see come top 10 at Eurovision next year, who are you going to pick? Harry?
Oh, hang on, sorry, my mic. I was crossing my fingers.
Let's not say top 10, let's say top 3, actually.
Ooh.
Who would you love to see in the top 3 next year? Who deserves it?
See, I don't think
these are two different things. Like, we deserve it, or we do want to see coming.
To be fair, I would argue no one deserves it. You got to earn it. Who would I say? You know what? Actually, I'll tell you a country, because they are regarded, I would argue, as one of the best countries at Eurovision, but they haven't had a top 3 since they won it in 2009. Let's get Norway back in that top 3, I think, because their best result since Fairy Tale is actually only 4th, which feels wrong for Norway.
I was so wrong with Norway this year, because I had them down as a potential top 3 entry all the way through to the final, and they ended up coming last.
Sadly.
Yeah, it was. That's a real injustice for me. I thought the song and the performance was amazing. Dylan?
So I would agree with Harry. I think Norway deserves to be in the top 3. It's been a while, but the country I would like to see the most in the top 3 would be Estonia. because they also have been trying really hard in the past year. They have the SD law that is getting more and more professional every year, and in the end, they always also try to offer something that is very different from the other the previous year. So I think they would do great in the top three. Would be a well-deserved performance. And ever since they won, actually they've had like mixed results. I think the following year they came up in the top three as well. But apart from that, they're always lower in the ranking. The La Forza was also pretty good, but then Storia is way too low in the ranking, and I am not biased at all when I say that. It's not because I live there. So
just send Ollie, and then they'll get top three. I agree with you, Dylan. That's absolutely fine.
Yeah, we finally agree on something, you know.
Yeah.
Jess, sorry.
I
was thinking about something completely different just then.
I have a couple of options, and I'm trying to be good and pick just one because I'm never good at doing that. So I'm going to go. Well, yes, I'm still on that fence actually. So I was originally thinking either Malta or Denmark, just purely because they haven't qualified in forever, and it would be cool for them to qualify and then get top three. But then I thought, what about Belgium? Because Belgium have been doing quite well recently. Well, since Loic in 2015, they really kind of turned everything around and they've done very well. But I don't think they've had top three so far.
No.
I don't think since then. They've had top 10, top 5, but never top 3, despite trying really hard. So I'll say Belgium.
Yeah, and another shocker really from this year, the fact that Musti didn't qualify. It was one of the favourites going into the contest. So yeah, another shocker. Rye Bailey, you're saying San Marino top 3.
That would be cool.
That'd be amazing. Mark, you're saying actually Georgia as their highest placement ever is 9th. Mark also would love to see Montenegro come top 10. It'd be one hell of a comeback. I agree. I'm going to go for Poland.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
I honestly, I would love to go to Eurovision for. I'd love to go to Poland for Eurovision. I think they would put on a really good show. We've seen them do Junior Eurovision really well. So yes, we were there together in 2019, weren't we, for in Gliwice for Junior Eurovision? What a fantastic show that was. So yeah, Poland, I would love to see in the top. Well, I'd love to see them win. But yeah, top 3 result for Poland would be great. Again, such a huge fan base in Poland, but there always appears to be lots of drama as well with who they're sending. It'd be nice to see a stress-free year for all of the Polish people that we know.
To be fair, Poland did something impressive for 2024. They managed to be the only country that could do an internal selection and still have fans say a song was robbed because they heard like was it Justina the Witcher was another internal selected one.
Yeah, and obviously it's 30 years as well since their first participation this year. They held,
and that's still their best result. That's still their best result.
And I will always say one of the best vocal performances ever on a Eurovision stage. Have you watched it yet, Harry?
I probably not the whole thing, but I would have seen clips of it.
No, yeah, you need to watch it. Yeah, honestly, Jess, it is one of the best vocal performances, right? Ever.
Well, yeah, definitely. Yeah. In my opinion, it should have won, but.
I agree, and I'm glad Tommy's not here because we'd be robbing Ireland of a win then. But,
was that the Rock and Roll Kids year though?
That was Rock and Roll Kids.
I do like that one, so I'm not sure.
Well, they have many other wins anyway, so they can just lose a win. It's fine.
Yeah, well, they had to save them up all in the 90s because they knew what was coming the next 20 years, Jess. So they had to do them all in the 90s.
Almost, like what a fantastic result for them this year as well. That was. I told you I was talking to someone a couple of days ago from the Caribbean, and that was another talking point. Actually, was the Irish participation and just literally the whole masterpiece that we saw on stage with Bambi Thug. So really happy. Tommy is probably still dancing around Malmo somewhere with his Irish flag. SKZ, you're thinking Poland should send something that sounds and looks really Polish, like my Sloveni. I never know how to say that. I think they would do very well. That was a robbed song, I will say. That should have done much better.
Robbed by the juries.
robbed of the juries. Got lots of televotes. People like my brother, who I'm not even sure if they listened to the song, they just watched the performance.
I was going to say, what was the reason behind the televotes?
Yeah.
No, I remember watching it with my brother, and literally, as soon as the butter churners came on, he said, "I'm voting for Poland." But yeah, it was a fantastic song and kind of represented the Polish music scene, but also was a nod back to, kind of. I don't know. It was mocking themselves in a sense as well, and I really like that. Let's have a look. Mark, you're saying you have a feeling that Spain may win. Benidorm Fest is going to produce a Eurovision winner soon. Well, Spain's another country that's been on an upturn in terms of quality, I would say, but hasn't been getting the results that maybe they've been hoping for. Obviously, with I've totally forgotten her name.
Blanca Paloma.
Blanca Paloma was a bit of a shock for me from 2023. I thought that was just pure class. The song, the vocals, the performance, everything about it. Maybe I was more shocked than other people because some people were talking about that song not doing so well with the televotes, and that was obviously kind of the downfall. I think I only got 5 points with the televotes.
It stopped the UK coming last in the televote, so that was absolutely fine for that. Well, we came second.
But yeah, some they've really done an amazing job in kind of changing, not necessarily changing their fortunes, apart from with Chanel coming third, but just changing their approach to Eurovision, and I really love that direction.
See, I trust Benidorm Fest to have a Eurovision winner in it. I do not trust the Spanish public to pick it to win Benidorm Fest.
Fair point.
They did pick a song that ended up 22nd this year, so I have backup on my theory.
Although, to be fair, when they picked Chanel, I remember so many people being not liking that choice, and that has kind of become like the new Fuego, really. Like, it's,
well, exactly. The televote didn't pick that one, so you can't. The televote didn't pick that one. They picked Texaguera, so the Spanish public didn't do that one either. I'm being harsh on Spain. I like Spain.
What were we talking about? I forgot what the question was.
Who would you like to see win? Who would you like to see win?
The person who made the comment said they think Benidorm Fest is going to produce a winner, Eurovision winner.
Well, we're talking about being excited about seeing what kind of show Switzerland puts on. But obviously, before that, we've got Junior Eurovision in Madrid. Finally, some sort of Eurovision competition in Spain. And I can't wait to see what kind of show they put on there, Jess. And I know Junior Eurovision is kind of a big passion of yours. What are you expecting from
You know what?
BBE?
I think they're just going to have like a big, huge party in Spain. Because, I mean, I kind of get the impression Spain are party animals, lots of festas, whatever the word is.
Lots of siestas. It's like the ideal life.
Exactly. And I just imagine they're going to go all out and just have a big, huge, happy celebration, a party. It's going to be very kind of kid-friendly, teenage-friendly, colourful, bright, happy. That's what I'm thinking we're going to get.
Yeah,
I could be wrong.
I'm really excited. I mean, what do we know about Junior Eurovision so far, Jess?
So we know it's taking place on November the 16th, I do believe, which is a Saturday. The first time it's going to be on a Saturday since 2015. We know it's going to be in Madrid, in Calle Mágico, I think it is.
Say again?
Calle Mágico.
I thought it was in Spain, not Mexico.
Please do not come at me, Spanish people, for butchering your language. But in terms of like hosts or like a green room host or any like opening ceremony, we don't have any information yet. I imagine that's going to come probably soon because we're like 2 months away. Normally, I think in September we have like the final participant list.
Yeah, I'm glad that we go for a November contest rather than it was always a little bit too close to Christmas for me. Interesting, though, that it's going to be on a Saturday. It could be a bit of a risk. So they're obviously expecting kind of, for these participants to be using kind of prime time, Saturday slots for Junior Eurovision, I appreciate it's in the afternoon. But yeah, maybe they're expecting bigger viewing figures this year because it's I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about. I really don't know.
Or maybe
I've never known what I'm talking about, guys. I'm literally a fraud.
Or maybe they're just going to like have this as a trial period to see how the Saturday slot works in comparison to Sunday, and then take it from there. I don't know.
Isn't the Saturday slot partly why the UK is withdrawing for this year?
Yeah.
Because there's like issues with like clashing with Strictly and stuff, which is a shame. Or like the reality TV show in the UK.
Yeah.
But I should clarify. In terms of like participants, we know UK's out, Cyprus is returning, and there are reports saying that there will be one other return of a country. We do not know who it is, so there's likely going to be 17 countries. And also, I believe we have our first song reveal coming up next week. I believe Spain is releasing theirs on the 6th of September. So yeah, that's the recent news. And obviously, I believe Netherlands have released all their national final songs as well in the last couple of weeks.
I was interested they didn't withdraw from Junior Eurovision.
Yodi
Toddy.
Toddy.
Be
good to see Iceland win Eurovision. Oh, it's about time, isn't it?
I would love to see that.
I think it could. No,
after Sweden, after Switzerland, I'm good. I'm not going to Iceland, so that might be better for everyone. Money here. So
I think
I have to get back on a plane.
I think we need a prayer circle for like Moldova or someone to win.
Exactly.
Nice and cheap. Or Poland.
Well, we know if Iceland win, a lot of mums will go to Eurovision.
Oh my God.
That's a UK specific joke.
Gosh. In case.
So it was nice.
In case you were wondering,
tonight.
Harry is the same old Harry, and his jokes are just as bad as they were before. And they're probably going to get worse as time goes on.
They only ever get worse, Jess. They never get better.
And did you say you've got a better microphone now, Harry?
Yes.
Has it got an off button?
Not that you can reach.
We were talking about what kind of show the Swiss would forgot, and I rudely forgot that Mark Bugord from Switzerland is in the chat, and he says the Swiss do not have a great sense of humour, so you think it will be very professional and serious. It will not be like the humour from the Malmo hosts. It'd be. Have you got any tips for who might potentially host, Mark? Are there any kind of rumours whirling around in Switzerland with regards to hosts? Rye Bailey, you're annoyed that UK have withdrawn from Junior Eurovision. Mark, also, you're mad that the UK pulled out of Junior Eurovision. Well, it's nice to have them back for a couple of years, and at least we got some good songs and some good results from those couple of years, Jess. I think there was a bit of a nervousness from UK fans in terms of how they were doing. They ended up doing really well.
But I do genuinely think if we carried on, we would have been expecting a win very soon, given the standard we had to the past 2 years.
Yeah, and Jess, you spoke to Stand Unique as well, didn't you? At the London pre-party this year. They were still thriving off the Eurovision performance. What's happening with them at the moment? We'll never hear from them again, will we?
No, not really anything. I mean, they did say that they would like to get back together and release more music, but we don't know if that's going to happen or not because they're all in different parts of the UK. So we'll just have to wait and see.
To be fair, other Junior Eurovision acts doing very well. Like Freya Sky's doing stuff for like Disney Channel and like one of the new movies there. So 50-50 records, not bad for fame.
Mark was like, can we still watch Junior Eurovision in the UK, or will it be geo-blocked? No, we've never had an issue watching.
It'll be on the YouTube channel for us,
And Joss, you hope Norway wins in 2028, allowing them to host 20 years after their last victory, with renovations at the Telenor Arena and surrounding area to finish in 2029. It'd be perfect timing. Okay, that'd be great to see. And Nelson is with you. Who was it that asked for Ollie? Was it you?
Me.
Yep, hopes Ollie will be participating in Eurovision next year. But guys, we've been nearly an hour. It's so good to catch up with you. So good to see you guys in the live chat. There'll be a lot more to come from us now that Eurovision 2025 season has started. You'll be seeing some new faces on the channel. And if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe. So much more to come. But I need to remember Junior Eurovision first in a couple of months. Yeah, so Junior
Don't
Eurovision.
worry, I'll remind you.
Eurovision, San Remo, and all the other stuff that we normally talk to you guys about. But lovely to see you guys. Thank you for joining. Jess, sing us out.
Oh gosh, what should I sing?
No, don't. Sorry, we want to gain subscribers.
Oi.
Right.
Oh.
Guys, have a lovely evening, and we will see you soon. Bye.